So this year I decided to not do a big declutter at the end of the year like I did it in other years, because I did decide that decluttering should not have such a huge focus in my minimalism anymore, and also because I want to just allow myself to take the time that I have to actually relax and do what I want and not feel obligated to do this whole declutter and minimalism thing at the end of the year when maybe I just need some free time. But even if I do not want to focus on stuff anymore, there's still like email declutter, needing to save and copy all of my digital files, and that whole side of decluttering that I still want to do and also started already but haven't completed yet. We'll see if that's getting done this year, and otherwise it will just have to wait until next year. So this is the stuff for the in and out, but first I do want to talk a bit more about how this year went for me, kind of a recap, and then we're gonna talk about this stuff. But life is about more than stuff. So the first thing is maybe very obvious. I'm doing a combined in and out video with kind of the end of year video that I wanted to do anyways about, I don't know, decluttering for 2024, which I'm not doing obviously, things like that. And that is mainly because there's something I've been missing when it comes to these last few days of the year. When I was a kid and a few years ago still, this is a time where not much is going on. Everyone is kind of off work. And for me, that was not the case. I was always working and sometimes even pushing out extra videos because I had a little bit of extra time. And this year I decided to not do that, to actually try to have a few free days, not just a weekend, but actually some free days between Christmas and New Year's. This is supposed to be my only work day, and now I'm supposed to have like another 4 days off or something. And then I have some work in my social work job again. But I hope you had a great Christmas, if you celebrated. And if not, I hope you had a great time. Maybe you still had some time off work. But also I know many people are working. And I'm just lucky this year that I don't have to work in my social work job. But it will start again on January 1st. I'm very, very looking forward to the next few days. We're actually also going to visit some friends that we haven't seen in a few years now. And I'm looking forward to a bit more free time. But how has the year gone? Like all the time that has already passed. So for me, I think to sum it up, it was a good year. It was a year I could grow, I could learn, I could shift my perspectives and come closer to the lifestyle I want to live and maintain for a long time. But before diving into the details, I do also want to acknowledge that this has not been the case for the whole planet. It has been a very hard year for many, many people because of wars, because of unjust things that happen, because of people, because of the climate change, which is also kind of because of people. And I think both of these things can be true at the same time, of course. We can be happy and be devastated. But I think let's go on with the things that happened in my life, because that is what I know best of and what I wanted to share with you in today's video. Actually, I want to do it in the in and out video style a little bit. So I'm going to share first a few things that have like happened, that have like come into my life, been in my life. And then I'm also going to share a few things that I let go of this year. So I did travel a bit this year, actually not so much, but weirdly enough for me, it felt super fulfilling. So I can't really remember a time where I was this happy with the amount or the kind of travel I did. And this year it was absolutely not extraordinary. I didn't really did anything on my bucket list or saw some things that I really want to see, like being in the desert, seeing a volcano, being in a rainforest. But still, it felt amazing. Like I didn't have as much like wanderlust or like, oh, I really want to go travel more. I was fulfilled with the amount I got to travel. And I think that is amazing. No matter if that means that in the future I want to travel even less, or if it means that I'm very hungry for more travel again, we will see. But that's just what it's been this year for me. At the same time, I think that goes kind of hand in hand. I had a lot of great summer days, which means I went to the lake many, many times, and I kind of just enjoyed the very, very little moments of summer, like swimming, like having an open window, like seeing all the green leaves, like biking around in warm weather, all of these things really make me happy. And I think that also kind of adds to that I do not need to travel that much. And it's maybe also because I had enough time to do all of these things and didn't feel like I have to wait until I have like some time off work to do some things. So that was great as well. And hand in hand again with that goes that I had a lot of like amazing days and hours at home. And I realized even more that I love to spend time alone, that I'm somewhat introverted in many ways, and that for being happy, a lot of times I just need some time, some quiet and peace, and something I enjoy doing, no matter if it's being creative or consuming something that I enjoy, like a good book or a good show, being able to rest enough, to sleep enough, eating some good food, and understanding that all of these simple things really make up so much pleasure, and the content life is wonderful. For me, especially also because I know then going forward that I don't need much. And that's kind of a huge lesson of minimalism as well, because if we don't need much, we can be happy with a lot less. And we all know that it's not like more stuff doesn't equal more happiness. The same goes for more adventures, more money. And I think it's just important to understand and learn what we need, what makes us happy. And a lot of times it's just very simple stuff. Another thing that I did more, I think, than the last few years is I went on walks when it was raining. And I just added this here as a point. It's again the same kind of, it's the little stuff. It's being outside in the rain, like hearing the raindrops on the leaves in the forest, the quiet and calm of not so many people outside. And I had such a great time with so many little things. Being in nature and all of these things just made me happy. And all of this coming together kind of adds up to, I found a lot of peace in my boring life. Because I do remember at the beginning of this year, I talked to a lot of people in my life, and sometimes they were asking about like, what's going on? How is your life? What are you doing? And I was very, very frustrated and unsatisfied with my answer, because all I could say is kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's just going on. I'm just still doing the same thing and nothing is changing and I don't have anything to tell you. And I felt very frustrated with that. And now I do not feel frustrated at all. And I just kind of am happy with the freedom of time that I have and all the little things I can do that I know I enjoy. But hand in hand with that again goes another thing that I want to share, or I accomplished, or that happened in my life, that came into my life. And that's of course my new social work job. That was like one of my main stressors in the first like 2/3 of the year, that I just realized like I have to find a solution here. I'm not making enough money, and not having enough money is very, very stressful because it robs you of a lot of freedom that I would otherwise have. And of course, I'm kind of giving away a part of my time, but you know, that's what jobs are. We all know it. And right now I'm very happy after working like for 1 month. I think that's doable. I feel like I'm doing something worth doing. It all makes sense. It's all like, it's a fulfilling kind of work, even though it can be very exhausting as well, of course. And my financial situation got a lot better, which means that I do have some money that I can save at the end of the month, and I do have some more money for travel if we want to travel next year, and just all of the financial stress kind of went away, which is great. So what are the things that I let go of this past year to live a better life as well, kind of? I let go even more of my consumption rule that I can buy one thing per month for myself, which kind of meant that in the first half of the year, I didn't really buy anything. And in the second half of the year, I did buy a bunch of things. But I just let go of the restriction even more. And I think that feels good. And as long as it works for me, I think it's a good idea. Apart from that, I also kind of let go of my knitting business. You maybe know that I have this knitting business where I have an online shop and where I knit stuff for other people. And the shop is still online. There's one item left. And on Instagram, there's still a highlight of yarn that I could use to knit something for you out of. But I think I decided, especially also with my new social work job situation, that I will close down the knitting side of my business because it was just not working out in a way that was beneficial enough for me. It took a lot of time. It had a lot of sides that I didn't really enjoy, like all of the shipping and shipping labels and figuring out how to do everything with kind of the, is it taxes when you import something, import, export, and how to bookkeep all of that stuff. Like, it was kind of complicated on that side, and I didn't enjoy that, and it felt like so much money went away for some kind of fees that are like you don't get and I don't get. And so I decided that I don't think it's working out. So I let go of the knitting business as well. And hand in hand with that, I kind of let go of the social media success story, because I started this YouTube channel and I started Instagram while I was still studying. And then, wow, suddenly after a year, I made so much money, like not so much, but enough money to cover my expenses. And I held on to that. And I think that was a good idea. And I tried to make it work with different platforms and strategies and ways to, like, income streams. But not all of it was enjoyable, and not all of it was beneficial financially, or even for me and for you. And so I think I'm slimming down my business again a bit. I want to do the stuff that I enjoy, like making content for you. But I want to do less of the stuff that I do not enjoy, like the brand deals, the different kinds of payment services, and I don't know. And with that, I just realized that for now, I cannot be a full-time creator because that's not working out. And I do not want to pay the price to be a full-time content creator, because that would mean doing a lot of work that I don't enjoy and that I maybe don't see a reason in doing. And on one hand, that's good because then I can do the stuff that I want to do. But on the other hand, it also hurts a little bit because it means I did not make it on social media. It did not work out. But that's okay. And then another thing that I kind of let go of is the need to do something, accomplish something in my free time. Like, sometimes I just don't do anything. Sometimes I want to finish a knitting project, but if I don't feel like it, then it's just not getting finished. And that's okay. Like, I do not need to accomplish something in my free time. I do not need to use my days to the best all the time. It's okay if I just do nothing and enjoy that sometimes. So I learned a lot about like imperfection, and maybe also listening to what I need right now instead of focusing on how something looks or how to accomplish something. And we will just see how it goes on in the next year. But now let's focus on stuff a little bit. So let's start with the things that have come into my life. And the first thing is a pair of slippers, like Crocs. I bought those secondhand in my neighborhood. I think they cost like 10 euros. And I bought them for my social work job because everyone kind of has slippers there. And then I assumed that I just need slippers, and I do wear them all the time there. But I realized that maybe I wouldn't have needed them. But I still think I choose to have them because, you know, keeps my feet a bit cleaner and maybe warmer. So I have a pair of slippers for my new social work job. And then actually on my first day of work, I came from a different direction because I came from signing my contract and not from home. And then I came across one of these public bookshelves and I picked up 2 books. This is Nachts ist es leise in Teheran by Shida Basiar. Maybe I'm pronouncing this right or not. Which kind of means, like the title means, at night it's silent in Tehran. And this one is by Banana Yoshimoto, and it's Amrita. So let's see how they are. I'll tell you more about it when I read them. On top of that, there's another book that came into my life because it's a Christmas present, and it's this one. It's The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I have not heard of it. I read the text on here and it sounds good, so I'll read it and tell you more about it. We do Secret Santa, so this is the Secret Santa gift I got, and it's kind of the rule to give a book and chocolate, and so this is the chocolate bar I got. And then I also have a Christmas present from my son, which was this card, snowman, and this picture of him, and kind of this decorated picture frame with stones, and yeah, that he made himself. There's one more thing, which is this sweater by Colorful Standard. You know, I have a lot of pieces from them. You know, I love their pieces and their colors. It's like an anthracite, almost black color. It's just a very basic sweater. It's the unisex or male version, and I love it very much. I think since I had it, which has been like about 20 days, I've worn it at least 10 out of those 20 days. And I'm gonna continue wearing it. I think I'm gonna change into this right after recording this video. And then of course here I do want to say that I always have a coupon code for you down below that gives you 10% off, and that I got this as a PR sample, but that this is of course all my own opinion. This is 100% recycled wool. It's sustainably made in Portugal, and I love their pieces. This is Colorful Standard as well. And I've had this for almost 2 years now, and I wear it a lot and I like it a lot. Okay, let's move on to the things that I declutter. It's books. So this one is the most recent one I read. It's My Side of the Diamond, and I have to say, like, oh, okay, it's okay. It has like fantasy elements, and it's like a story that you have to uncover and understand what happened and everything. I'm gonna link them down below, like the Goodreads pages of those books. I don't know, maybe it's something for you. I thought it was okay to read, but not my favorite book. Then we have The Great Passage by Shion Miura, which I enjoyed a lot. That is the book I already had read in November, but I finished in December. And it's just about dictionaries, about Japanese dictionaries, about life and love and friendship. And it was just very enjoyable and cozy to read, kind of, and like a calm read. Nothing thriller-like, crazy excitement going on, just calm and enjoyable. And then the last book that I read is The Taste of Blue Light. And actually, I'm thinking about keeping this book. I did enjoy reading it a lot. It's about mental health, and it's about being young and friendship and love. But that's not really the aspect, or it's not really the story why I'm debating on keeping it. It's actually because of the color green. Now that might sound really, really strange. The book is called The Taste of Blue Light, and honestly, it has not so much to do with color, this book. Like, yes, colors do play a role, but not as much as I thought first, and from what it reads, like what it says here on the back. But there is like this ability of this author to write in pictures. At least they really move me and I connect with them. And there's this one scene that's not really even important, but the protagonist is going into the forest and there's just green stuff around her, like trees and stuff. And it kind of made me fall in love with green again, or more, or I don't know. Like, until now I would have said, like, I do not have a favorite color, but now I'm kind of forest green. I think forest green and forest green tones are my favorite color. So I know this sounds crazy, but it's kind of just, it was inspiring to read. That's it. All the things that have come into my life have gone out of my life. All the stuff that happened this year, no, of course not, but a few things that happened this year that I learned. And with that said, I just want to wish you a few good last days of the year, and hopefully a good start into the new year. And let me know what the things are that kind of you learned this year, maybe already some goals and thoughts for next year. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who are here now, who have been sticking around through this video and through this year. You mean a lot to me. You make a lot possible for me. I love creating this content for you, and I do want to link you a video here that you can check out now if you want, if you have time. And other than that, just also thank you to all of you who are also supporting me on Patreon, and thank you for being here. I hope to see you there or in my next video in a new year talking about 2024. Goodbye!